Hi, welcome back to the Not at All Late Show. I'm your host, Lilly Jimenez, and on this episode we have a very special guest. Hailing from the faraway land of Canada, his name is Dr. Sharon Molem, and he is the author of the evolutionary book, Survival of the Sickest.
Thank you for having me, Lilly.
It's great to have you here. I feel like it's been so long that we have talked.
Yes, well, I have been busy analyzing the genomes of frogs, reviewing the history of a few flowers, and discovering new medicines from celery.
Anyways, your book is absolutely amazing. For my audience who has not read your book, could you please brief and analyze the main plot of your book?
Of course, but of course I still recommend anyone to read this book, not because I want the money, but definitely because I want the money. That's just a joke for my publishing company, no. You should read the book to get the full experience because unfortunately we do not have enough time to go massively in depth. But basically this book describes how normal diseases and traits that we have that seem massively harmful to us actually have a great benefit. See, I begin the book by explaining how a disease, hemochromatosis, a disorder where you have too much iron in your body due to an inability to regulate it, was actually beneficial to the human race during the middle centuries and about the 1300s because it actually allowed the people of this time to better survive the Black Plague due to iron-starved macrophages that were better at fighting off disease.
Of course. The starved macrophages were better able to fight the plague, as once they were starved, they were smaller and able to attack the plague in very different angles.
That is not at all how that works. Did you even read the book?
Of course I read the book. Duh. Anyway, please continue your explanation.
Yes, well, I also discuss how diabetes is beneficial to people in chapter 2 of my book. It's commonly known that this disease is a result from an increase of glucose in the body due to the body's inability to regulate insulin. Anyways, this disease is actually beneficial to people because a long time ago, well, not a long time ago due to biology, long time biology, not a long time geologist. Anyways, a long time ago, during an ice age, the extra glucose in the body, which is a type of sugar, acts as an antifreeze, which better helps people survive.
So are you saying that we should be drinking more soda to survive the harsh winter?
No, I am not saying that. I will never say that. No one would ever recommend that. And besides, you're in California, the coldest gets like the low 60s.
Which, to a lot of people, that is absolutely freezing. You may have a degree in human physiology, but I've lived in California my entire life, so you should just leave it to the experts.
Well, if you insist. Anyways, in chapter 3, I also explain the benefits of high cholesterol. To understand this, you also have to have a brief understanding of our relation with the sun. The sun produces ultraviolet rays, which have a very negative connotation in the scientific community because most people think that they result in cancer of the skin mostly, and then you can get sunburn. But in reality, our relationship with the sun is much more important than that because we rely on it for a large percent of our vitamin D, which is super important, which is why you'll find it added to a lot of foods. Because of that, you find people have darker skin, typically live in places closer to the equator where you find a lot more sun, typically in the country of Africa. And you'll also find people that have high cholesterol have darker skin because cholesterol is a key component in converting vitamin D out of the sun rays.
Speaking about sunlight, can you confirm whether it's true that you should not wear sunglasses while tanning?
I can confirm that is true. You really shouldn't because you'll burn a lot easier because you actually need your eyes to help determine the amount of sunlight. I also can tell you for the same reason that you should be extra careful when going to the beach on a cloudy day.
Luckily for that, if you get sunburned, our new sponsor, Rapid Radical Skincare, has the solution for you. By using our new Radical Science, they can cure skin ailments including sunburns, acne, and scars.
I am almost positive, with all my scientific experience, that is absolutely not how that works at all. But speaking of free radicals, I luckily do discuss them in the next chapter of my book. You see, there's a disease found in people in the Mediterranean area called paludism, where they can't eat fava beans. Kind of see where the name came from. A lot of originality by the scientific community. Anyways, this disease prevents people from separating free radicals, which are a more chemistry term, which aren't really my specialty, so I'll leave that one to a different expert. Anyways, people with spollicism cannot remove the free radicals, which then attack red blood cells, which can harm them. Anyways, this disease also has another benefit in that these people are much more resistant to malaria because the malaria parasite does not like these red blood cells, which also happens to be where malaria is common.
So is malaria spread through mosquito bites?
Yes, it typically is.
So basically, people with spasm are less likely to get bitten then. So everyone should just contract it, right? I understand that it's a dangerous disease, but if it means escaping those pesky mosquitoes, I think we all should take the risk.
Unfortunately, it does not work like that, and I'm fairly positive spollicism is much worse than a mosquito bite. Unfortunately, humans don't possess the chemical defenses that some plants have developed in order to protect themselves from predators, little plants.
Oh, so you mean like the fresh cut grass is actually grass crying out?
Yeah, something like that, I suppose.
Anyways, let's discuss the smaller threats to us.
Well, luckily, I have a chapter just about that. You see, in the 5th chapter, I explain how bacteria and parasites have different effects. You see, some parasites, like a specific parasite that inhabit ants, have the ability to change their minds, do real things to us, make us almost living zombies. Anyways, other diseases, not much as parasites, typically like bacteria or viruses, have a virulence, which is basically how severe the disease is. For example, the common cold has a very low virulence because it's spread through coughing or sneezing, which are, pretty simple things. While malaria, which I've already talked about, has a high virulence because it requires mosquitoes to grab the parasite and transfer it around, which is a lot easier if you're bedded.
So to make an analogy, my Oreo addiction has a high virulence because it requires more Oreos to survive.
I guess you could say that's a fair comparison, although a odd one, to say the least.
Yep. So now let's discuss one of my favorite chapters, jumping into the gene pool.
One of my favorites too. This chapter is all about DNA and how it can be changed by more than just mutations, which is the common belief how DNA changes. You see, our DNA is actually very complex, and in our complex DNA we have these things called jumping genes that can change our actual genome just by moving around. They're found in 97% of DNA known as junk DNA that actually doesn't code for proteins like chicken or stuff like that.
Like how 97% of my dog's diet is junk that doesn't do anything. Anyways, there's more genes in your book.
Yes, I continue my analysis of DNA in the next chapter. Here I discuss one of my favorite fields, epigenetics, which discusses how children can express different traits from their parents without actually going through mutations in their DNA or actual changes in the DNA. Essentially explains that environmental conditions have a large impact on the actual expression of DNA in the child.
If only my family knew about this earlier, I maybe wouldn't have such a strong addiction to Oreos.
Unfortunately, that's not a genetic condition as far as I know, but I suppose maybe they might have had some bad habit with Oreos that could have affected you, maybe.
Maybe. Anyway, I'm sure the audience is dying to hear how the book ends, so let's have it hear from it.
Yes, of course. Luckily, my last chapter is just about that, dying. Okay, yeah, I get that's a bit sad, but it really isn't, because unfortunately I can confirm that we almost died. There is no secret to infinite life or immortality, but it's actually for a good reason. Essentially, our cells die because they want to prevent from cancer. They can only divide so many times because an uncontrolled drug will produce cancer, so they have a finite limit. So yeah, we're programmed to die, but it's for a better cause. Kind of.
Well, thank you for that analysis, but you aren't done yet. Because today my audience has made a specific.
Don't worry, we all have issues with sports sometimes.
You know what, Dr. Sharon Nolan? Anyway, my audience has a specific request from you. They would like to know what this book does, what this book has to do with the big ideas of biology. My viewers are very smart people and would like to hear how you relate this book to the main ideas of biology.
Well, I have no doubt of how smart an audience you have, and of course I would gladly relate to this. You see, the first big idea I would like to relate to this is the idea that the process of evolution drives the diversity and unity of life. My book has some great examples of this. For example, in the final chapter, I discussed the evolution of humans ourselves, and how we actually evolved from apes, which is coming back, but we evolved from apes that were separated from other groups of apes by water, which forced us to develop new adaptation environments such as a large brain and downward-facing nostril, which those traits were passed on and eventually led to us modern humans.
So you could also say that hemochromatosis is an example of this idea. As those with this disease in Europe were better able to survive the plague, which was obviously very beneficial to those European people.
Yes, that is correct. The development of hemochromatosis also shows this idea as it did express the diversity of humanity. Also, moving on to the next idea, living systems store, receive, transmit, and respond to information in central life processes. A great example of this is actually epigenetics, which, this field shows that living organisms are able to store genetic information and access it at a much later date, even though it's in junk DNA that we thought was really useless.
Another example from your book could be about how replicating DNA, it will sometimes produce an error that will result in a mutation. Now, these can be good, bad, or have no effect. These changes demonstrate how living things respond to the information in their environments.
That is also correct and a very good idea. That's someone actually did read my book. Very concerned that it wasn't actually going to get read, but it has some good reception. Anyways, due to time, the final idea I will discuss is that biological systems interact, and these ideas and their interactions possess complex properties. A major component of this idea is that there's competition and cooperation between biological systems. An example of this is how, in my book, is in how humans and viruses actually are forced to cooperate with each other, even though oftentimes we think that they don't. You see, basically, some viruses that are quite old use us to reproduce and transmit themselves, and in turn, us humans actually use them and access their ability to create mutations that would allow us to better survive in the environment. So, this... oh yes, as well as... Sorry, I'm very tired, long flight. Along with this, I also mentioned earlier that plants have specialized defenses ranging from specific chemical weapons that can do some quite interesting things, as I've discovered in my study, to simple defenses like thorns. This relates because it shows how interactions between two systems can lead to complex properties, anyone from ranging to simple thorns that'll prick you and be quite annoying, to chemical weapons that can eventually lead to loss of fertility, among other interesting things.
That is truly amazing how plants were developed to do that. But unfortunately, we are out of time. But it was a pleasure having you, Dr. Sherman.
And it was a pleasure being here, joining the show. I watch it every night, and thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. Join us tomorrow night, where we will be interviewing some other smart person. I'm Lilly Jimenez, and this is the Not At All Late Show.